In this video, I'm going to walk through how to copy an Azure SQL database from one server to another. If you simply need to make a copy of a database within the same server, there's actually an easier way to do this using T-SQL. But in this case, I need to actually export the data from the first server and import it into an entirely different second server. The first thing I'll do is log into the Azure Management Portal with my Microsoft ID. The strategy with export-import is to export the database from the first database server to a file in Azure Blob Store, then import the same file into the second database server. I've already created a storage account in my Azure subscription. I can export the database to a file in any storage container I like. I have one already called SQL Backup, so I'll use that. To begin the backup, I'll go back to my list of SQL databases. After clicking on the servers link, I can see that I have two database servers. I'm moving this database to a new server that supports Azure's new service tiers. Next, I'll navigate into the old server and find the database I want to export. At the bottom of the screen, click the Export button. The file name doesn't matter, but I'll give this backup a simpler name I can remember. Since I only have a single storage account in the subscription, it's pre-selected for me. Next, I choose the SQL Backup container within the storage account, which is much like choosing a folder on a hard disk. To finish this form, I just need to enter the login credentials for a database user with administrative privileges, and then tap on the checkmark button at the lower right of the form. At this point, a job is started to export the database to a file in the storage account's container. If this process feels a lot like doing a backup followed by a restore into a new server, you're catching on. It's almost exactly the same process. Now the backup is complete. This is a fairly small database and the export was pretty fast. I'm going to pop over to Cloud Explorer just to visually check that my backup file is in the container. Note the file extension is .backpack. Let's take a look at the server where we'll restore the database. As you can see, there are no databases deployed to the server yet. So let's go ahead and import the backpack file into this server. The way we'll do this is to go to the New menu and create a SQL database. But instead of using either of the create commands, we'll use the import command instead. First, tap the folder icon to select the backpack file from the storage container we exported it to previously. Then we'll go ahead and give the database a name, select the edition, decide the max size we'd like, and choose the new database server. Note the old server is grayed out in the list because it doesn't support the new service tier selected in the form above. When that's complete, tap the arrow button at the lower right to move to the next page in the wizard. Here, we need to enter the credentials for the administrator account on the new server we're restoring the file to. Then press the arrow button to begin the import. Expect the import to take significantly longer than the export. In this case, the export took about 1 minute and the restore took about 7 minutes. Finally, I'll connect to the imported database to make sure the data is really there.